Hey, what's up? It is DJ. It is mod time, and today we had 27 mods to take a look at. All platforms got 15 new and 11 updates, and PC Mac players got 1 new. I want to let you guys know that I did not do a news video today. There just wasn't a whole lot to talk about, so go check out my community page if you want to see the 4 topics from there. Otherwise, let's jump right in. We got a fun day. Starting off, we got new ones for all platforms. The CLAAS Lexion 500 series. There's 2 combine harvesters in here, a 5100 and 5600 and 57 through 58. I am digging these. So you have 4 headers as well and 2 header trailers to go along with these. You've got a 6 meter, 6.6, 7.5, and a 9 meter. That is very, very nice. Pretty cheap-ish setup overall. If you guys want to run a nice combine harvester that will run a 9 meter header, I mean, this is a pretty good place to start with. Plus, if you go up to the Lexion 600, you can actually have 12,000 liters in here. That is almost getting up there to the big 6,900 before you get to the 8,000 or whatever it is, the big Lexions. Oh yeah. As for wheel options, we do have those CLAAS setups, but if you want to run some tires, you could do that as well. I like this, so if you like running tires, you could do that. If you prefer to run tracks, you could do that too. And by the way, those BKT tires look real good. But I kind of like the track, so we'll go with that. Straw or chopper model. Say that one time slow. Oof, I made that sound bad. You've got a new and an old setup there. Customization options, I am noticing, are very expensive, so be ready. Cooling radiator option around here. You've got a couple different setups for that. Kind of like this one. I think it looks pretty cool. You've got a chaff blower on there with a yes and no. You've got extra protection if you drive like me, and you can also throw in some GPS stuff there. So you've got the old, you've got the new, or nothing at all. And of course, you got those license plate options. Very cool setups. As far as capacities, if you go with one of the smaller ones, you're going to be running 6,300 liters. So it does give you a little bit of room to grow and something to buy and upgrade too. So there's plenty of stuff between there. Otherwise, that's about it. I think that's it. Oh yeah, the header trailers. You can utilize this one if you're going up to the 7.5. However, past that, you will need this trailer right here. One of the nice things is it does have rim colors, so if you wanted to change those up, you could do it, but there are no main colors. Additionally, we have some customization options for the headers themselves. So all of these are going to be running at a 7 mile per hour. Okay, well, you can get 1 more mile per hour out of these. That's pretty nice. And then, of course, we've got a laser sensor pilot and the reel, the center in the reel, you can make that larger or smaller. Here's what you're going to be looking at. Very, very nice. Big header on here. If we kick out the pipe, there's actually a lot more room. So you could probably go a little bit larger, although I'm not sure I would want to. Good news, the header does snap in. And though there were not any customization options for the hitches, we do have them. So, with all that, you're ready to go. Here is one thing that I'm noticing right now. You cannot fold or unfold the combine harvester if you have a trailer attached. I wanted to fold it up right now, but it's not letting me. However, if I come in here, now it will work. That is quite peculiar, and I can't unfold it either. Huh. That is very strange. Our next one is the hand lawnmower, as we would call it here in the United States, a push mower. This bad boy has a working width of 0.5 meters, weighs 95 kg, so we should be able to pick it up. And it's got a 3 mile per hour max working speed. 3 mile per hour is actually the speed, period. They say it does have a 10 horsepower engine. Is that a little high for something like this? Maybe it seems about right. With a variable transmission. I think the transmission's your legs on this one. Designs, we do have a couple different setups for the bagging system if you wanted to go with that. Although, as far as I know, this does not have a capacity. So we'll have to check that out. We've also got stickers, so you can throw some stickers on there, some warning stickers, including lizard branding. And then you got main, design, and a secondary design, which I'm assuming is rims. Yeah, we would call that rim color. So here we go. Let's test them out. This is the version that kicks everything off to the side. And I am running it. Oh, we have to lower it. Alrighty. Well, there you go. It's got a side discharge, although I'm not quite sure if it's actually discharging to the side. It seems like it's just dropping it. Maybe that's just me. Nonetheless, there's that one. Let's tab over to this one. Let's go in first person. We will lower it and turn it on. And it's still dropping the grass. Yeah. So the bag does nothing. I will say this, though. This is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a little slow, but you know what? If you need to do a lawn care business, this is a mower for you. Next one is the return of the popular Devour Trees mod. This mod right here, well, it says it starts off with a 50,000 liter capacity. Now, the capacity is going to be really nice if you're running the Unreal setup. Otherwise, I would just say go no capacity, go real, and this will just delete trees. It does it pretty cheaply as well, so you're good to go. But if you want to keep the wood chips, this is the setup that I would definitely go for right here. It does increase the price by $125,000, but you are able to do multiple different things with it. Now, in the past, this mod has been a little bit interesting to try to use, so we will do our best here. This is my first time using it, so this may show you, hey, you're not using it wrong, or I can't figure it out neither. So what we want to do is we want to take this, we want to pipe it out, so that is going to kick around towards the back. I'm using the base game Magnum with the Lizard Tortoise trailer that's been piped up to 200,000 liters. So together, both of these will give us a capacity of 250,000 liters. That really is just to give you like some room. So we drop it down, turn it on, pull forward, and we have now cut the tree. Let's pull forward till it gives us all that. There you go. And then push forward, and that should, yep, there you go, deletes our the Stemperuski down there. There you go. That's in a nutshell, that's kind of it. There was one thing you may have seen, that the stump hung around a little longer than you would have expected. In past, you could put this over the stump and it would delete the stump that way. So I'm gonna try that here. So I'm gonna just kind of paint around this so we could see it a little bit better, and so you guys can see this a little bit better. So we've got our tree right here. I want to, well, you know what? Maybe it'll do what I want it to do. Let's give it a try. We'll pull forward. Let's see. There we go. So I'm gonna raise this up, push forward, and then drop it. And no stump grindy business like that. As a matter of fact, don't know if we're gonna have any stump grinding business at all. Sometimes it would also do it from behind. Oh yeah, there we go. So, works, yes. It is very tricky. It's always been very tricky. This is nothing new for the FS25 version of this. If you used it previously, it does seem like it's working kind of the way that it used to. Let's come in from the other side, see if we can do any better. Maybe. Or maybe not. Ayo. Come on. Please, you know you want to do it? Well, I can't get this one. But hey, out of 2 trees, we got 86,000 liters of wood chips. That's pretty nice. Moving on, we have the Alpego KF7300. This is a subsoiler, and there's also a cultivator that you can run in conjunction with it behind the machine. You just kind of back up to it and it'll hook up. So as far as the subsoiler goes, is 3 meters at 7 miles an hour, 160 horsepower is required. And then the cultivator that you can put on the back of it, 40 horsepower, 3 meters at 7 miles per hour. So add an extra 40 horsepower, also add an extra quarter of a ton. The thing that I always find interesting with running subsoilers versus cultivators is the subsoilers, though they don't leave a cultivated surface, it is essentially the same thing. So I would get where in real life this would work out and be beneficial, but in the game it doesn't matter. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I believe in Letterkenny they would consider this overhandling. Our next one is the Lizard Jr. Vineyard Pack. Now, the only mod that we have today for PC Mac players is the branded version of this, so really not going to be going over it too much there. We'll just kind of acknowledge its existence because we're going to go over it here. We have 2 pieces in here, not much of a pack, but it does have enough. So you got a sprayer that has a 400 liter capacity, 4 meters at 8 miles an hour, and you've got a mulcher. But other than that, that's about it. Here's something neat, the Slurry Spreaders. Now, it's Spreaders because there are a couple different models in here. This doesn't look like a slurry spreader on face value. I went past it a couple times in the mod up, but we'll say this. Really interesting how this works. So a lot of slurry tankers don't have spreading systems on the very back. So they rely on something like this, like a drag hose or maybe a spreader, something like that. Well, this is a very small piece of equipment, hooks up through your 3-point on the back of your slurry tanker, and you've got a 10-meter spreading plate, a 12-meter swivel distributor, or double that to make it a 16-meter swivel distributor. Pretty cool. Next mod pack might be kind of interesting to you, the Wifo HMZ Pallet Fork Pack with TensionBelt. Now, it is more than just that. What they've done is they've added tension belts to all of these pallet forks, making it really easy to maneuver pallets and things like that. So you've got stuff for front loader, wheel loader, skid steer, and telehandler all here. Plus, if you run a 3-point, you can use this guy. This guy was introduced with the Year 2 expansion in FS25, brought over, converted, etc. And now it's here in FS20, whichever one we're in now. 25. There you go. Phew, my brain is fried. Let's move on. Next up, we've got something for those farm builders out there, the Placeable tire tracks. It's not just this one. There's a lot in here. So you've got kind of a setup here where you've got curves with tires going places, whether it be 2 tires or whether it be 4, or whether it be kind of like a whole pathway, which is really cool. And you've even got like T-junctions here and dirt, straight paths, all kinds of stuff here. So this may be something that you want to use. For example, if we go in here, I'm going to delete the one that's there. Look at all of the different styles that Giant Software have used just on the main farm, and how weird it would look if these weren't here. Well, now you can add in your very own, like one that you think should be right here. Boom. Look how much better that looks. That is very, very cool. Now, there are 2 versions of these. There is one set that just kind of flows with the ground, wherever the ground may be. There's another one that will hold to where your cursor is. So this one would not follow the terrain if it were like curvy or something like that, or a little up and down. It's less like paint on the ground and more of a thing on the ground. Think of it that way. So if you want more paint on the ground, do terrain decal. Otherwise, yeah, that's kind of about it. Pretty cool pack. Last mod that we're going to show off in the game is the ground markings mod from Andy Modding. Now, it is more than just this little arrow. You may have seen a little snippet of this in the last mod pack, but we've got quite a few things. There's 3 categories. You've got your industrial markings, so through these, just kind of swing through these real quick. As you can see, pretty cool. You've also got your traffic markings. So with the traffic markings, as you can see, we have multiple different things, including arrows and things like that. These don't look like American setups to me, but maybe they are, and I just didn't recognize a few of them. Not quite sure. Nonetheless, you've also got these right here, which are going to be your warning ground markers. So like, hey, here's K-Bot digging a hole, or, tractor. Yeah, Mr. Silly P's on his way. But watch yourself. I guarantee he'll use that in his thumbnail. I can't wait to see it. Nonetheless, there you go. There are your mods in the game. And we've also got some mods that we'll just take a look at in the mod hub. We have the Lizard Medium Silos pack with silos between 5 million and 10 million liters. The Bio Tank, where you can sell things like manure, digestate, solid fertilizer, herbicide, things like that. The Old Storage Barn with a capacity up to 600 bales and pallets. The Old Metal Shed. Old Brick Garage. And the Farm Fence pack with multiple different styles of fences. Now let's talk about updates for all platforms. First one is the map Polanki version 1001. Fixed a problem with soft asphalt, added a collision on large pillars, and increased space in the machine shop. We also have an update to the map Tässi Farm version 101. Removed random trees and filled 4, increased the price of farmlands to a fair price. I think they were pretty cheap to begin with. Changed the peat to a fair price, increased traffic speed, fixed some collision issues, added dried peat, added the ability to dry peat, added the ability to use trailers and buckets for peat, fixed meadow grass not being mowed, and they made the Peat system more realistic. A new save game is required. Speaking of Peat, we've got an update to the Peat Equipment Pack, version 101 as well. Added text in the description specifying the category where you could find the equipment, added the Peat dryer and the semi-trailer to the Peat store pack, and added a Peat dryer. Moving along, we have the Rebell Classic 600T, missing lower link balls added and lower link category corrected. Tractor triangle, color change fixed. Oh, there we go, there's the screenshot. Tenwinkel weight pack, incorrect weight information fixed. Multifruit farm storage, added the ability to load oversized trailers from side of the building. Object storages, new buildings added. Industrial bakery, recipe correction. Beehives, fixed error with wooden beehive, now correctly displays info box. And your last update for all platforms, a mod that I think everyone who makes their own custom farmyard should have, the Placeable wall lights version 1011. Fix warnings on placement and fix naming of wall light 13M. Your only new one today for PC and Mac players is the Joper Rocha Vineyard pack. I probably said all that wrong, do apologize. This is exactly like the one from console today, so you're not going to be getting anything extra, nothing wild and crazy. It just is branded. That's about it. And there it is. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, drop a like, get subscribed if you're new and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check your notifications. That way you never miss videos like this one. But if you want to check out some other videos, well, I have 2 Let's Plays coming out this weekend. The last episode from Oak Bridge is tomorrow, and we've got a really special video from Riverbend Springs on Sunday showing off the Agri flag. So that'll be a lot of fun. Otherwise, have an awesome day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.